Hey, hello, this is Moon Griffon Podcast, and I appreciate you joining us, and we love you being part of it as we grow the podcast, and it's like everything else, it takes a little bit of work, but it's great to be here. We got so much going on, and I like to take different angles on stuff. Some of y'all may have heard it, some of you not, but I'm going to take the angles that I'm going to take because I believe in what I believe in. President Donald Trump is being sandbagged. President Donald Trump has been sandbagged since he came on the scene. Let's just go back and then we'll catch you up to date now of what's going on and what's happening to America. Trump represents you and me. He represents people who love this country. He does. I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're white, Democrat, Republican. He really represents something that's good for America. You may not like his style. Style points, I get it. You may not like his style. You don't like some of the stuff he does and says. Okay, that's fine. Let's throw that to the side because what they're doing to President Trump is absolutely sinful. Just take it. Remember when Trump announced he was running for president? Barack Obama and all these people laughed at him. They literally laughed at him and said, "Oh, he'll never be president." And they made fun of him. They thought it was just a clown show. Then he started debating the Republicans, and they started falling off one at a time. And all of a sudden, President Trump rose to the top. One of the reasons that he went to the top is he didn't come across as the same politicians on the Democrat and the Republican side that are the typical politicians we see in Washington, D.C. every day. That was the difference in Trump. We were sick of the Republicans and the Democrats. Sick. Now, I'm independent. I'm not a party, but I'm a very big conservative, and I call myself a Christian conservative more than that. But the point being is they laughed at him, and what we did is when people went to the polls, they decided, you know what? Enough is enough. They didn't want the Clintons. They had enough of the Obamas, and they decided the Republicans didn't quite get it. So Donald Trump upset everybody. And let me tell you something. I remember Rush Limbaugh saying this a while back. He upset them. Nobody thought that Donald Trump was going to win. And the American people stood up and said, enough's enough. We want a different country. We want a country that's free. We want a country we can be the best we can be. We want a country that the government would get out the way and just let me go be the best we can be. We don't need the government to tell me what kind of utilities I use. We don't need the government to tell me what I can and can't eat. I don't need the government to help me with my health care. I don't need to help me work. I don't need any energy from them. Just get out of the way and let's be the best we can be. And what happened? President Trump came in and everything got better. The economy got better. We got out of the World Health Organization. We got out of the Paris Accord, away from the Green New crazy crap. We got out of that, okay? We were going to put a border on the walls. We started trying to do that. Everybody knows illegal immigrants are a problem. I feel sorry for them. They're not coming across the border because of climate change. They're coming across the border because they live in suppressed governments. They live in governments that won't let them be the best they can be. And the United States is the shining light on the hill. We're that shining city. And they want to come. They're not coming over here because they can't grow and eat. They're coming over here because they're suppressed by big government. And that's what the Democrats, the party of filth and hate, you heard me say it, filth and hate, most hateful bunch of people that ever lived. And I'm talking about the power players. And so Trump comes in and he turns everything on their head. Everything they wanted to do, all this green stuff, all this one world government stuff. He told the UN, go take a flying rip. Okay? World Health Organization. He got away from crazy. And people were making more money and living a better life and freer life. Blacks, women, Asians, Hispanics, everybody was doing better. Women, everybody was doing better. Okay? And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, that's when the one world government, okay, I'm saying it, the one world government and the Democrats decided, you know what? Because I think a lot of that was manufactured. China was mad at Trump. Russia's mad at Trump. We heard all the stuff about Donald Trump and Russia collusion. They lied about this guy over and over and over again. PP tapes. Okay, had prostitutes pee on a bed that Obama and Michelle slept in. Lie. A lie about collusion with the Russian government to win the election. Lie. They impeached him not once but twice on lies. Everything they've done to him, and I don't think he's a saint. I never said that. But everything they did to Donald Trump was because they don't like you and they don't like me and they don't like Trump. And they can use Trump as the scapegoat. That's what's going on in the country. So Donald Trump becomes president. Everything gets better. China, He pointed and said, China's a problem. And China knows they spend a lot of money in this country with politicians and universities to basically destroy the country. China knows that Trump was going to put a stop to all their evilness. They're evil. They're a communist country. They're evil. I don't mean all the people are evil, but the government is absolutely evil. And he stopped them in his track. They were never going to start a war with Donald Trump as president of the United States. No way. And then COVID hit. And what they did with COVID was they made it was an opportunity to take advantage of something that nobody really knew what was going on. Quote, a pandemic. Now, I'm not down at it. A virus is a virus and a pandemic can happen. I get it and all that stuff. But now we wonder, how did it start in a lab in China? And that's what most people believe. It's what I believe. I think it was forced upon us. And then what happened? Then we started doing shutdowns of business and scaring the hell out of everybody. Dr. Quack, Dr. Fauci, don't wear a mask, wear 2 masks, wear 3 masks. Take the vaccine. Joe Biden, take the vaccine, get rid of the mask, you can live your life. Then we found out the vaccine doesn't stop the spread of COVID. It doesn't stop you from getting it. It doesn't stop you from spreading it. And this little stupid mask is not going to stop a virus. It just doesn't work that way. And then what happened? It was print money. And it put us in a bind. And then the worst thing of all, in my humble opinion, now, if you lost a body because of COVID, you can get mad at me if you want to. There's not one person that died during the COVID reign that wasn't supposed to die. Oh my God, I can't believe that dumbass would say that. Not one person. If you believe in Jesus Christ and you believe in God, you understand that my time is limited here. Thank God it is. My time is limited. Okay? Just like when I look at a war, 3 buddies go off to the war. One comes back, nothing wrong. One comes back crippled and another one comes back in a body bag. Why? Why did that one survive? I can't answer that. But those other ones, badly the one that died, it was his time. Now, you can't accept that if you don't know Christ. So then you go nuts. What do you believe in? So what happened was people got scared to death. I mean, my Lord, they wouldn't even go out anywhere scared to death they're going to get COVID because it was told to us by Fauci and the top doctors and the universities and all the hospitals. Okay, you know, wear a mask, protect yourself, get a vaccine. Okay, people got vaccine. People died after taking the vaccine, after taking the second vaccine, after taking the third vaccine. People still died. People that wore masks died. Absolutely, they died because it was their time. And so what they did was, and this was even worse than I said this, is they decided, you know what? They got all these movie writers and movie producers for the Democrat Party. That's a fact, they do. They decided to write a story. You know what? We got a way to beat Trump now. And the way we're going to beat Donald Trump is we're going to run a candidate. We're going to run a candidate that we're going to hide Joe Biden. One of the worst things that ever happened to this country. 50 years, and all he's ever done is made money for his family. And then they did something the unthinkable. They messed with the elections. You can believe it or not. They messed with the elections and the fact that we started mail-in ballots. You know, there's been groups. I think Amazon was one of them. If I'm wrong on the name, I apologize, but I think it was Amazon. It was Amazon or one of other places. They decided that what we're going to do is we're going to vote to unionize. And you know the first thing they did? It was either Amazon or Starbucks. The first thing they did was said, no mail-in ballots. And they were for mail-in ballots when President Trump was running. They were all for mail-in ballots. They were out there, hey, mail-in ballots, nothing wrong with that. But when it was time to do union votes for one of those companies, they decided, no. No mail-in ballots. Why? Because they didn't trust them. That's what happened to President Trump. We let him change the rules, mail-in ballots and gathering the ballots and doing all the things they did. We changed the rules. We changed the rules in the middle of the game. And I understand why President Trump is upset about that. I don't blame him. We had a lot of Republicans look the other way. You got the Nevin Trumpers out there, the John McCain type people, the Mitt Romney, the psycho Bill Cassidy types. They're out there. And so we lost. And so what have they done? They impeached Trump while he was president. They impeached Trump either right at the end of his term or right after. They impeached him, okay, for no reason. Everything they said about Trump when it came to policies and things of that nature, they lied. They were wrong. Now, here's what I see. What's happening to President Trump is about you and me. They sent in a message to you and me. They want you to know and me to know, just a middle-class dude trying to make a living. They want us to know right now, don't get in the way of the Marxist agenda that we have, okay? Everything they doing, folks, and I'm gonna put in a biblical term, in the fact that it's antichrist, okay? It is. It goes against what the Lord God himself taught us. Gender, one man and a woman. There's two genders. You can believe different. There's two genders. I got the Bible and the Lord got my back, and so does science. So they throwing that. We had the Black Lives Matter movement all through that process. It had nothing to do about blacks. God bless them. It was everything to do about a Marxist movement. They said we were trained by Marxists. Okay? You had that movement. You had the illegals. We've opened the borders. Come on in here. Come on. Doesn't matter. We're paying all this health care out. We're paying all this other stuff out. They don't care. Fentanyl, killing people left and right. Fentanyl's so dangerous in the community I'm in. I'm watching them kill friends of mine's kids. And I got young kid. I got a young kid left. I mean, God forbid he takes something wrong. But the fentanyl comes across and we don't do anything to stop it. Okay? You got drugs. How about crime? The crime is out of control. Democrats are in charge of every big city in the whole country. Crime is out of control. What is that about? If you're a law-abiding American citizen, a God-fearing person, you want the police stopping some of this. You want them to get tough on crime. But this leftist agenda doesn't want that. They want to be able to call thugs in anytime they want to and just ravage the country. So we got schools now with drag queen shows, libraries with drag queen shows for little bitty children. A little 5-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 12 and 13-year-old could care less about that. Trust me, I was 12 or 13. That wasn't what was on my mind. Why are they so obsessed with sex? Once again, it's antichrist. They're mocking Jesus Christ. Every bit of this is mocking Christ. You're going to be a boy, you be a girl. We're arguing about bathrooms. A boy going in a boy's bathroom, girls going to girls' bathroom. Oh, no, we can switch it. We got people dressed up like girls playing sports. Nobody is stepping up to stop this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And by the way, the worst thing out of all this stuff, or as bad as the Green New Deal, to tell us not to use fossil fuels, to tell us not to drill, to tell us not to use natural gas, coal, all the things that we need to live, to grow food. The two things you have to have in our society that we've done is to be cheap food and cheap energy. What are they going after? Food and energy. So when Obamacare came along, they ran all the doctors under the hospitals, all I'll say, but a lot of them. And that's why you had all the COVID stuff. They all making 6-7 figures under these hospitals, and they're being told what to do, what to say. I would go in the doctor's office, and they want me to put on a mask, and I get to the back, and the doctor said, man, take that crap off. I'm married to a nurse. I've been around these doctors. I'm telling y'all, the mask thing was a total joke. It's never a joke on a virus if it kills somebody. I get it. But how many people really got killed by just the virus? You ought to go check in your Louisiana, in your health department, because in Louisiana, it was such a small percentage you would go shake your head. Just COVID deaths. It's so bad. But the Green New Deal is going to be the next disaster. It's what they're trying to shove down our throat. Oil comes out of the ground God gave us. It comes out of the ocean. It comes out of the Gulf. Natural gas comes out of the same places. Coal, all used for cheap energy and cheap food, which helps you and me go to work every day. It helps you and me be everything we can be. Why do they want to shut that down? Now the banking crisis. Now a banking problem. They want to get that too, folks, because they want to go to this cyber money, crypto money, whatever you call it. That totally controls you. So they got health care, okay? They want to get to schools, which I think they got those too. They want to get the banking industry, and they want to get energy. And that's why they're passing out all that money for energy. Even the energy companies like Shell, Exxon, they're taking this money. I know Shell is. They're taking the money for the Green New Deal because they're passing out billions. How can you not take money to do what they want you to do? Because once you take the money, you're going to do what they want you to do. This whole thing is to clamp down on the United States of America and the freedom that we have. We have helped and fed more people, helped more people with medicine and disasters, wars, because we've been free. God has blessed this country. That's why we were able to help people. Okay? Everything now, though, is political. Folks, I can't believe I got a debate between a boy and a girl, and I don't know who's what, and when they're going to decide when they're 6 and 8 years old. I mean, come on. This is stuff we've been knowing for thousands of years. Thousands of years. And all of a sudden, we done got smart now? What a marriage is? All this stuff is, we went from a Christian nation to a post-Christian culture. Now we're going to watch anti-Christian. And that's why I go back to Trump before I wrap up. President Trump, I'm not saying he's representing all the Christian side. That's not what I'm saying. But he's representing you and me. He's taking the darts for us. He's getting beat up for us. Because I can promise you, folks, they want people like me and Dan Bongino. They want us to shut up and go home. They want us quiet so they can do their agenda. And their agenda is anti-God, anti-America. I promise you, that's the agenda. That's the agenda in front of us. Donald Trump, God bless him, has taken the licks for you and me. He's being beat up for you and me. And I'm just telling you right now, this thing about arresting him and filing charges against him in the grand jury, all this stuff is made up as much as the Russian collusion and everything else they did. All they want to do is bury the guy. That's it. You know, they don't ever try to bury people like Barack Obama, who I think is Satan's brother. And because he's got a suit and tie and smile, can make you laugh and seem smart and clever, those are some of the most dangerous people in this country. And I said it, Barack Obama, one of the most dangerous people that ever stepped in our country. George Soros, that's all the same group. Folks, stick with the president. Stick with the president. And what I mean by this, you may not vote for him for president. They may run through the Republican process. Ron DeSantis, I like a lot too. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't have a crystal ball. But right now, the president needs us to stand up for him. And I'm telling you, it's our job because he took all the licks for you and me. And I don't care if you're black or white, Republican or Democrat. We got to stand up. Okay, my name is Moon Griffon, the Moon Griffon Podcast. Check it out wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm asking you to do that for me today. And I appreciate it. God bless. We'll see you again.